Hey everyone, welcome back to another daily recap. Today was another red day, so that makes for one green day. So Monday was my biggest day ever. It was about 5R. And then the rest of the week I've been losing, I think it was 1R the next day. And then, so Tuesday was 1R, negative 1R, sorry. So Monday plus 5R, Tuesday negative 1R, and then Wednesday negative, I think it was like 5R, biggest losing day ever. Yesterday was, I think it was like negative 3R, and then today I'm negative 2R. So pretty brutal. Um, yeah. Monday was my system trade that gave me like 7R win. So that has really padded my week. Without it, I would be deep red right now, which just shows that high risk reward, it keeps you alive in the drawdowns. But what I failed at the rest of the week is getting good risk reward on my discretionary trades. So I actually made a lot of mistakes and I developed a bad habit, which I didn't realize was a bad habit until it messed me up a couple times. So I'm going to dive into my trades today and I'll explain my problems. Actually, I already explained my problem in the last recap, so go check that out. It was on NINE, and that was that I covered for break even when the trade still worked, when the thesis wasn't invalidated. So it would have been like a 3-4 hour trade, but I covered break even. And so that also happened Wednesday as well. So without these, with just the new rule I've implemented, which is no more covering break even, no more covering break even when I haven't taken a profit. Actually, I guess I broke that rule today, but we're gonna go through it, and I'll explain why this one's fine. But yeah, that's the new rule. Without that rule, or with that rule this week, I would have been up an extra like 6R, which is huge. Like that would have put me green on the week. Like just 2 trades would have put me green on the week. So just I'm fixing my mistakes. I'm making rules and guidelines to improve my trading, and I'm going into next week with a game plan because I'm going to be doing a lot of reviewing this weekend. So GFAI, let's go over this one first. I saw this gapping. First, I looked at the daily. You could see it gives back its gains a lot. So 1, 2, and then this one kind of. So it gives back its gains. So in that case, I really liked it for a short. And then market open, like things have been gap and go instead of gap and crap. So things are running. So what I learned today is that you really have to be patient on your entries, or else you're gonna get ran over by a herd of bulls. You've got to be a bear. You've got to wait in your cave until it's your time to come out. You have to hibernate longer in this season of trading. And so that's something I realized today that I could have avoided on GFAI. Normally, I would take the starters, and I would be a lot more aggressive with my entries in a normal market because that worked. You wanted to get your size on early because at the spot you saw confirmation in was likely the top in the previous market condition. But now in this market condition, things are going on multiple other legs. So let's go over this. First trade, it pushed and stuffed on the morning, and so I drew that line right there, and so I looked for confirmation to get an entry on, because this was kind of like what I failed to realize here was that pre-market high was here, and it had just broken this main resistance, and so it was kind of already over pre-market high, but a lot of trades are based around pre-market high, and oftentimes the stocks do fail around there in the normal market. But in this market, things are gapping pre-market and then just running. So that was my first mistake. This was only a 0.3R cut, so I did good on that. I didn't add to my full size, so that was a good cut, but not a good trade because I didn't recognize the market condition quick enough. I'm adapting now. I think as time goes on, I'll get quicker and quicker to adapt. I knew something changed after the Black Swans, but I didn't know what. The problem was I didn't change my trading. I didn't take a step back and look at the market right away. I kind of just made mistakes, and I was like, oh shoot, like this isn't working anymore. After 3 days and losing, like, let's see, cumulative, let's say like 5, 7, like I'm probably at an 8, 9 hour drawdown with commissions. So it's pretty deep, but also I just need some gappers and my ADF system will probably pay eventually. That's how that system works. But that system is on a drawdown as well right now, so it's just the market condition. But yeah, so that was that. Now next we halted up, so pretty big move. After the unhalt, we tanked, and I drew that as a level. Now we swiped back up, and I really like the confirmation here, and then it kind of just consolidated here, and I thought that was like the shelf. Okay, so I slammed in, risking over the highs. Boom, boom, boom. Risking 131. I think I got some slippage there. So I was risking 131, and then it kept going. So it got super close to my risk. At this time at 10:10, I had to leave for school. I knew I was going to get stopped at this point. But again, I was following my new rule where I can't cut before my stop or price target. So I did good there, following my rules. But then I got swiped, and then they stuffed it again. So this is what I mean. You got to be patient for your entries. If you just wait for a clear line in the sand to form and not try to spot the top ticks, like don't try to top tick in this market. Try to be patient and wait for levels to be defined, and then you can short off of them with starter size, and then you can wait for even more confirmation, because I'll show you HYMC. I'll explain my trade in a second on it, but as you can see, if you waited for even if you waited for the level and then shorted over it, it would have worked fairly well, but you would have got chopped up. So what you do is you wait for extra confirmation. So waiting later in the day, and then also just looking at the trend, really. Like this one was super simple with the trend, and then even just here from the morning. But yeah, looking at the trend lines and just, I don't know, you just look for extra confirmation in this market is what I'm trying to say and what I'm trying to practice. But going into my trade on it, this was a day one parabolic, day two setup. Now what I failed to realize was that the setup wasn't very good. It was like probably B at best, probably more like C plus. And I didn't have the data for this because I haven't tracked day two yet. But after the fact, a lot of traders I follow posted their data saying that this was not a good setup, mainly because of where it closed, and then how much it gapped, and it just wasn't super ideal. Now, I mean, a lot of good traders also traded it down here like I did, but I mean, it just depends on what type of a trader you are. Some lost on it, some won on it. Even the ones that won on it had a difficult time usually. But basically here, I wanted to get in super early, but it was just way too early. To be honest, I wanted to slam here, red to green, but I saw it hadn't had a bounce in a while, so it's probably going to trap, and it's also so early in the morning. And I think I'm finding that the first test usually traps and then it goes down, so that's why this second time I really liked it. And then it tried to get overview up, but it couldn't, and it started to fail, and I was just thinking it was going to just fall over, and then the second test was going to work, but that was not the case. It trapped on the morning. We actually opened with a nice stuff move, and I was like, okay, this is good, but then we trapped, and I stopped out at my original stopping point. Now this was also 8.3 hour loss. I had not yet added full size, so I guess that's something I did good. So yeah, I was looking for actual confirmation down, so I did good on that part, but this was the 1 hour loss here. Okay, so we faded all the way down. I thought we were super weak, and then we bounced to view up, and I saw weakness, and that's what I sized in on. I sized in super tight risk. I was in for a very good risk reward setup. My coverage targets were around 111. So just around down here would have been a great risk reward trade, but again, it trapped, and a lot of great traders traded this down here, but also a lot of great traders waited for the extension. So it just depends on the type of trader you are. I don't know exactly who I am yet, but I'm finding out, and especially in this market, I think I need to be more patient for entries and recognize when a setup is ideal or not. I'm not too disappointed with this one. The only thing I'm disappointed about is not trading it after it set its levels, but I was kind of scared of the market conditions. Like, maybe this can keep running. I don't know. Ideally, I would have sized in after the confirmation. Like, there's a clear line in the sand. I would have sized in after the confirmation. So we had a clear out over here. We soaked and then had another clear out. And then we kind of dumped and then broke trend. So, like, sizing in anywhere here is good. You know, I mean, I don't know. This market's so tough. I had some long trades, super small size. I was just testing some things out. So MGLD, I was looking for a type 4 trap here. I would read Trade the Matrix blog, search him up on Twitter, read his blog, you'll know what a type 4 setup is. So we had clear symmetry here, so you can see the support and trend line. The riggers use this to trap shorts and longs because everyone looks at these trend lines. So after we broke and snapped this support level here, I was looking for an instant reclaim. It looked good to me, so I got in and then was expecting a huge move to the upside here because of the trap, but it struggled. And I thought, this was still valid, like this movement here, like this price action. Like, I just thought they were soaking it up, and they were soaking it up. But what I failed to realize was that, well, I don't know if I did too much wrong, but they tried holding it up and they totally failed. And they just dumped it, and so I got out. I lost like 0.15R. I was risking nothing on it. And then similar thesis with PZG. I also lost 0.15R on this. Clear symmetry. I thought they were gonna be soaking it under and then just to trap it higher, but they did not. I don't know. Maybe these trades are dumb, but I was just trading a thesis and the thesis didn't work. ASTS I explained on a previous recap. This was the same thesis before, and it worked, but I failed the execution. So this time around, I had wider stops, as you saw, and then I was going to plan to add higher once I was above my average and I could move my risk up to the new low. So this one, ideally I would have sized in here, which is where I did size in, but I had my stop way too tight, so I bomb ticked it, and then the move I expected happened. So what I do now is I got starters here, and then I would be adding here and then moving my stop up instead of having it wide. So ideally I get like 2-to-1, 3-to-1 risk reward or reward risk on these kind of trades. But yeah, I'm kind of just dabbling with like no size at all. They do add up, but I mean, I'm just trying to learn and get experience. But yeah. So that was the day. Oh, I have more trades. AGRI. So this one was a gap down short. Huge move. All right, huge move. And then it did fade down, which makes it less ideal. But the thesis was that we would just fade off because this is kind of like the side chick. No one's looking at this stock. So I got in short at 310 with the stop over red to green, over this $0.50 mark. And everything was looking good. I kind of wish I sized back. I wanted to size in here, but I was a little hesitant just in case it was going to trap. But I wish I sized in here with the tighter stop. And then once we broke sub VWAP, so this was kind of a rule break, I guess, setting a break-even stop. But the reason is I was driving, so I couldn't I couldn't watch the trade and I couldn't manage it. And also, it had confirmed for me and broke under VWAP, and I was going for patient price targets. So I wasn't going to let this trade stop me out. Now, in the end, let's see. Yeah, I would have got stopped out for I was only on starter size, so I actually would not have gotten stopped out. I would have covered in the day pretty much at the same price. But yeah, that trade was just, it was, it is what it is. It's just a small trade. MULN, this was the wallet patter or wallet saver, if that's something. This was that trade. I've noticed a lot of good opportunities for me. I've been taking advantage of are near the end of days, like in the last 2 hours. these intraday runners. So my thesis on this one was macro clear out. So I saw this line. And then what I really liked about this one was the extension. Okay, if it grinded up, I probably would not have taken it. But when they have the extensions, that just, in my eyes, I see more probability for it to have a reversal at my entry. That's just how I feel about it. My stop was actually at 150, I think it was 151 or 152. So it got super close. And I took the advice from someone on Twitter, whoever you are, thank you, to put my stop over the $0.50 mark. Actually, my stop was 155. Yeah, my stop was 155. And then you guys can see it had a big stuff. You can see the candle. I slammed in big size here. Well, size according to 151 risk. And then I was a little quicker on the coverage just because we are near the end of day. This means that we're not going to have as much time to fade. But also, this was a huge move from under 1. So 50% move. A lot of shorts were probably caught off guard, especially because you could see like we're pretty down low, and we came all the way to the highs. A lot of shorts were underwater. So yeah, that means it's gonna be harder to fade. Shorts will be covering on the way down, which makes the stock harder to fade. And my covers on it were pretty good for once. I covered about 1/3 in this cluster, and I covered, I think it was like 2/3 here, and then the last third down lower here. So overall, good exit average, I would say. Now I wasn't sized accordingly because this is my biggest problem. I can never seem to get good size. My average was about 143, and I was sized for 141. Now it's not a huge difference, but when we're talking sub $2, 2 cents is a big difference, especially when sizing. I probably could have gotten extra, maybe 50 shares, maybe over that. And that extra 50 shares, or however much shares I'm trading, it adds up a lot. Like, it would have covered more than, like, almost probably 0.6 R. And let's just say I covered around here at a 142 average, 143 average actually. So I'm risking about 8 cents, and then I make about, I make about 10 cents. So I probably could have got 1.5 risk reward on this. I got 1 R at the end of the day, which I guess isn't horrible. I mean, like, this, I don't know, man. I'm super annoyed with getting 1 R. I really want 2 R plus wins, but it just doesn't seem to be happening. So I'm going to do some review. I'm going to find out the solution. I'm not just going to let it be, because that's how you don't improve. You have to just, focus on improving 1% every day. But yeah, I'm going to end it right there. Wow, this is 18 minutes. I feel like I've been talking for like 1 minute. But let me know how y'all did this week. Are you red, green, deep red, light green? I mean, whatever you are, just learn from this week. It was pretty intense. Some great traders were deep red. Some great traders killed it this week, and it's their best week. Like, it really just depends on the type of trader you are. And so something I'm trying to focus on is not taking it personally, and also I need to really stop comparing myself to other people, because I'm always saying like, they're doing so much better than me this week. Like, what am I doing wrong? I may not be doing that much wrong. It may just be my style isn't matching the market. Like, the bear ADF, the bear who ADFs, not ADF on Twitter, but the bear, he's in a drawdown right now as well. He's an amazing trader, but it's just not his market, and he's following his system, and there's really nothing he could do about it. He's not going to go rush to change things, because that'll mess his whole system up. He'll have to re-back test, retrack, and then maybe it's not better for the other markets. So what he does is, back test the entire year, see what kind of system works best in all markets, and he's not quick to change things. So what I'm trying to say is, it's okay if you're red this week, so long that you've stuck to your process and you're not like changing it like by a lot, which is what I'm focused on not doing. I don't want to just try a whole new style, because that's what I've always done. I always, cycle chase in the past, and that was a killer. You know, it keeps you from profitability because the market changes again, and then you have to rechange what you just changed, and it's just a lot of stuff. So, I mean, next week, I'm focused on not taking that many trades. As you can see, there's a lot of trades right here. Next week, I'm focused on patient entries, great risk reward opportunities, high win rate, and high risk reward. I just want to focus on being green next week. Just bounce back slowly. Let me look at my stats right now, and I'll report back to you guys. Let's see. I just want to see what R I'm down on the week. See how hard this is going to be to recover. Okay, so I'm down 4.75 R. Wow, okay, that is not bad at all. That is not bad at all. I swear. 4.7 R. That is really not that bad. Okay? I mean, I could recover that in a single trade. Like 4.7 R, I could recover that in a single trade or a few good trades. So next week, I'm literally just focused on getting a couple 2R wins. Like, I just need a couple 2R wins, and I'll be right back where I was. So that's my goal next week. I'm not trying to hit it big. I'm just trying to not be deep red again, and I'm trying to be, 4R green next week. I don't have a price target, but I do just want to focus on the best risk reward, best winner entries. All right, everyone, have a good weekend. Study up and prepare for next week. Hopefully it's not as bad, but we will see. Be prepared for anything. Peace out.